welcome back, watch fans. We got an amazing episode for you today. We're actually doing our first live auction. We're doing a preview for the Dial Market. That's right, Dial Market. That's our watch e-commerce platform for buying, selling some of the best watches on the planet. And today we're going to do a preview of the auction we have coming up in about 2 weeks. We're actually going to post it online first. The catalog is going to be going up next week. But I just want to show you some of what we have coming up, and then we're going to be actually adding some more exciting inventory. Some of the stuff that you see is actually right here below. And of course, you'll be able to go to dialmarket.com where the catalog is going to be posted. So let me give you a little bit of a preview, and of course, you are welcome to ask any questions. Let me just see here. No, I'm not going to do this right now. Here we go. Okay, so let's go to what we have coming up in the sale. Should we start off with? Let's start off with actually, I think one of the best watches in the sale. One of my favorites, the Patek Philippe Ellipse 3582, which is here. I'm going to show it on the camera. Let's see if we get over here. We get kind of the blue screen is making this. There we go. So the 3582. I'm going to bring it up on camera. Hopefully it shows up well. This is late 70s. Incredibly rare to find this. There we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry, we're getting this set up here. Okay. So this is an incredibly rare Patek Ellipse. I think right now there's a couple of them on the market for about $12,000, and we're going to be selling this for a $6,000 starting price in our upcoming auction. And by the way, these are all, this is an auction, so it's as is, where is. Now, of course, this is functioning. Of course, we describe. There we go. We describe everything as it is. This is like literally a state fresh condition, as they call it. You got some dust on the dial. I know I'm going to take some flack for that dusty dials, but yeah, there is some dust on the dial, so you might want to get this clean. A little bit of, by the way, a lot of these dials on the Ellipse models, I got one which is in absolute mint condition, but a lot of these 70s Ellipse watches, there's always a little bit of flaking on that blue sunburst dial. And we have a little bit right at the edge, so kind of oxidation, flaking, whatever you want to call it. Very important. It does come with the Ellipse buckle. We got the Ellipse buckle over there, which is, you want to make sure when you get these, it does have the buckle, because that makes the look. You got to have the Ellipse buckle. It's not an Ellipse without an Ellipse buckle. By the way, the couple of watches like this, the 3582s that are on the market right now, that if you look on Chrono, they don't have this Ellipse buckle. And by the way, that's about $800, and you got to wait 6 months if you want to order that from Patek Philippe. So this is like the original strap it came on. This is not a Patek strap, but you're going to want to get a new strap anyway. Again, all these watches, I would say you definitely want to get a new strap on these. And of course, the price we're going to be selling at here, you're going to have plenty of money left over. Again, these are going for about $12,000 plus on the secondary market. We're going to start off at around a $6,000 auction price. That's right. Our auction is going to start right around $6,000. Actually, I believe this watch has incredible upside value, incredible upside potential. Because what this is, it's not just a regular Ellipse. If you look at this, it's a really interesting case, right? It's kind of like, I think they say that the iPhone was copied this design. I don't know if it's true or not, but there you go. There's the back of the case, solid gold, obviously. But you see this? They kind of have this like flat glass surface that covers like the whole thing. It's kind of interesting, right? It's incredible design innovation. It's something like this came out, I think, in 1977, if I'm not mistaken. Nothing else on the market is like this from that era. There's no, like literally, because it looks kind of space age. It's got the space age design. I mean, this really should have been done in the 60s. That late like 1969, this would be like a real space age watch. You got these kind of, again, rounded edges. You got the full glass. It's incredible. And of course, then you have the ellipse inside of it. So it's sort of like a double case. It's almost like a double case. It's kind of really interesting. Again, you're never going to find these on the market. 12 grand is kind of what these are going for in the secondary market. Again, we're starting at $6,000 is going to be the starting price in the auction, plus premium, of course. Now, let's go to another interesting watch here. We got a stone dial Patek Philippe. Should I do another Patek or should we go to a Rolex? Should we mix it up? Now, let me stick with Rolex right now. Excuse me, let me stick with Patek, excuse me. So we have a stone dial 3732. Hopefully I don't get any fingerprints on this. Ooh, I'm going to get fingerprints on it. Okay. Beautiful stone dial. Now, look at this incredible case. I don't know if this is going to show up on the video, but again, the shaped cases, this is like the hottest thing right now in the market. There's the back of the case. There is your Patek buckle, OEM, Patek buckle. Very important. Anytime you get these vintage watches, you want to make sure that you have the proper buckle. And there's the watch. Now, this one, what are we starting off? $5,500. Why is it so cheap? These are like $10,000 watches. Why is it $5,500 plus premium? Well, this is an onyx dial, and you got a very small, faint hairline crack that's at the top, right around the 1 o'clock. I don't know if you can see it on this on the camera. There is a faint hairline crack right around. Hang on a second, right around kind of in that area, right around the 1 o'clock line. The watch functions, everything's working. You do, of course, again, we got the original buckle, but this strap it came on the strap again. These are like as found, estate fresh condition. You want to get rid of the strap. The strap is pure garbage. I think somebody just put this on. I don't know for what, but otherwise the watch is great. These go for about, I don't know, 10 grand plus 12 grand in the secondary market. Very rare to find 3732 onyx dial. And we will have this for, again, $5,500 is going to be the starting price. Unbelievable, but true. All right, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's mix it up. Let's bring something modern, because I know you guys like, okay. So here we go. The classic Rolex Submariner, the Submariner, the Bluesy, the King Tut, as we call this. This is, what is this? This is a M serial, circa 2007. We're going to start this off at around $9,500. And by the way, one thing you want to look for with these, this is, of course, the transition pre-ceramic, and this has the rehaut. Again, don't compare this to the regular basic Submariners. This one has the rehaut. It's got the full gold through the back of the clasp. This is not the basic ones that you find in the 80s and 90s. You want the gold on the clasp, and you want the engraving. You see that engraving inside? You get the serial number. It says Rolex, Rolex, Rolex. Right there. It's in there. There we go. So this is, again, 6613. And we're going to start at $9,500 is going to be the starting price in our auction, plus premium. So it's probably going to sell for, I don't know, 10, 11 grand roughly, let's call it. And this one comes with box, Rolex box and the outer box, cardboard box and the outer cardboard box. No papers. There we go. And you know what? I think I would assume if it doesn't have the papers, maybe, you know, somebody just bought the box. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, this is the real deal, of course. There you go. Serial number inside. And there's also an extra length. This is going to fit like a 7-inch wrist. Okay, there we go. Beautiful sunburst dial. Can you see this? I don't know, we got too much light, I think. But here we go. Let's get the sunburst effect. Okay, we got more pictures of it. All right, let's move along. What else we got? We got another Rolex. This one is actually this one is like fresh with fresh service on this vintage 60s Rolex Precision 9919, freshly serviced. This actually was like a $700 complete service from LA Watchworks, which is very good watch repair place in Los Angeles. By the way, if you're gonna get one of these watches, you want to look at that bezel. All right, look at this crisp bezel, beautiful shape. Wow. I mean, this is like space age era, beautiful dial. Everything is working as it should because it's a brand new service. Now, we do have Rolex buckle, but this is a garbage strap. I don't know why these watches always come. People don't buy good straps. You're going to want to get a new strap. And this, it does have to be kind of a custom strap. Does it have to be custom? I think, does it fit through there? I don't know. See, the way the watch wears, the strap, there's no lugs. It's kind of like a hidden thing. You see this? It's almost like the ellipse. So the way it wears, I'm not sure. I haven't opened this watch personally. Again, they serviced it, so it is brand new service, fresh service. Again, that's like a $700 value. I don't know if you can wear a normal strap with this because of the way the lugs fit, or you may have to do a slightly custom version. But anyway, it's going to be $100, $200, whatever it is. No big deal, but you can get a great strap. By the way, I came across a pretty interesting place called D Lugs. Hang on a second. Oh, how's the? Uh-oh. I think we're getting bad internet here. How's the camera? Okay, I don't know. It might be a little bit blurry here. Okay. Anyway, Rolex 9919. That one's going to start off at $6,000 starting price. Again, brand new service. Watch is like, essentially, it's like a brand new watch. Let's go to one of my favorites, Royal Oak. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak dual time. I did a couple of videos with this watch. Again, great condition, minty condition. Everything's working perfectly. This will fit like a 6 7/8 inch wrist. We do have 2 extra links. There is your watch. Ooh, the internet is not good. It's blurry. Sorry, the internet is coming up blurry. Let me move this to the back. Okay. On my camera, it's perfect, but I think the internet connection is coming out blurry. So this is incredible dual time. What's the reference number? 55. I don't have it here. 50, whatever it is, 5502, I believe it is. Yellow gold, solid yellow gold. You got beautiful white. It's sort of like a silvery white dial. I mean, it's kind of what I think this is like one of my favorite watches. Now, again, you got 2 time zones. You got your main time zone, and then you have second time zone. So I had it set before to local time here, so it's West Coast US and Paris time. Why? Because I got business in Paris. Now look at it again. Here's what you want to look at. Look how crisp this is. You see that back, that clasp? Look at the condition of that clasp. I mean, that's like minty condition. Very, the bracelet is tight. I think this watch was probably, if I had to guess, this may have been worn maybe a dozen times, probably in its lifetime. So this thing is like beautiful, mint condition. What are we selling it for? It's going to be the lowest price in the country. $32,000 is going to be the starting price. 32 grand. The cheapest one that I saw in Chrono was like 39,000. So this is probably going to go for like 35, 36,000 with the premium, with the buyer's premium. So you can get an absolute bargain with this watch. This comes as is, no box, no papers. We do have the Audemars Piguet instruction manual, which is a sheet of paper that they FedEx you, not FedEx, excuse me, they email you. So they give you that. And it does come with 2 extra links. So this is going to fit like a 6 7/8 inch wrist, maybe a little bigger. And you can always, again, probably get more links. Again, you're not going to find these. I think these are the best value out there for Audemars Piguet. 36 millimeter. 36 millimeter. By the way, fun fact: the power reserve on this watch. So if you win this watch, just so you know, the power reserve, they don't go all the way up. It doesn't go all the way to the top. It goes like 3/4 of the way. And how do I know? That's the way they are. I don't know why they designed the graphic all the way, because the thing only goes like 3/4 of the way. Then it's full. And if you call AP, they'll tell you exactly that. That's what the first thing they said when I called them to get the instruction manual. Look at that. Wow. Again, you know what? This is historically, it's an important watch, because this is like 2006, 2005, and that's exactly when I think the modern era for Audemars Piguet started, for the Royal Oak, when they started doing these bright dials. Before that, they had the kind of small dials, the gray dials. Actually, I have one on the wrist. So this is this is the 90s. And this was kind of the design that they had, the small tapisserie. This is the grand tapisserie, and it's much brighter. It's a really big difference. Again, this watch versus this watch. And again, I'm a fan of two-tone, etc. But the dial, there's no question. This watch over here, this dual time, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dial design. Okay, so one last watch. Oh, there we go. Speaking of dual time, we're saving the best for last. I'm gonna let me clean up this dial here. Let me clean up this dial. So this, my friends, is a Piaget dual time, retailed by Asprey. Asprey, of course, sort of like, Tiffany, but Asprey is like 5 levels above Tiffany. Asprey, again, jeweler to the queen, what do they call, by appointment to the queen, since I think the 1700s or mid 1800s, 1700s, sometime. I think it was the 1800s, right? Anyway, so they basically sell mostly to royalty, or in the UK, Europe, Middle East. Asprey, super high end, and so this watch was a limited edition done exclusively for Asprey. You see that double signature, Asprey at the bottom. Piaget, you get the Piaget buckle. This strap looks like a new strap. Looks kind of like a cheap strap, actually. I don't like this strap. I'd get a new strap. I think this is like a leather strap. Anyhow, so this watch, very interesting. These have been actually soaring at auction. So they were going for about like $7 grand a year and a half ago, and one just sold now for about 18,000 at Monaco Legends auction was it April or May? So the price on this is more than doubled. These are exploding in value. Now, very interesting. You see this type of thing happening, like the Audemars Piguet, the Cobra. Same thing happened. We had like a bunch of videos on that watch. One of the ugliest watches, the AP Cobra, but that watch has like rocketed from, it was like 6,000 a year and a half ago, maybe, no, about a year ago. This time last year, you can pick up an Audemars Piguet Cobra, again, the same watch that's the Shah of Iran's watch. It was about $6,000-$7,000. Today, it's like $30,000. So it's very possible this happens, again, in some of these niche kind of watch markets, that prices all of a sudden go crazy. There's not a lot of it out there. Not a lot of it out there. There we go. We got Wolf, Baron Wolf. Black cushion. Yeah, you know what? Let's try it right now. So the prop, I actually had this. So this is actually a tray. Let me see. Let me see. Let's try it. So let's see if Baron Wolf is right. See see, I'm using a new setup here. I don't like this black back. It's kind of, what do you call it? It's a light box, I think they call it. So again, we're not that technologically advanced on the show here. We're not that technologically advanced. So it's a little bit, it's not that great. Yeah, that black background is not that great. I think the orange, it's actually red. It's actually red. So that's what we have. But yeah, we gotta get better cameras and everything else also. A lot of things we got to do on this show. But that's where we're getting these great deals. Okay, so here's the deal with this watch. Let me tell you what's going on in the Piaget market. The prices of Piaget integrated bracelet watches, Piaget in general, has been skyrocketing over the last year. Okay, about a year ago, like the Audemars Piguet, the Cobra, again was $6,000. Asprey. Oh, the tray is I don't know. No, I don't know where that tray is from. Uh, the watch is Asprey. Again, Piaget for Asprey. And you got, by the way, you got two movements. You got two movements in here. Now, I'm going to give you the good news and the bad news. So here's the good news. The good news is these are going for about 18 grand. These are going for about 18 grand right now. That's kind of the market value as set by Monaco Legends. Oh, the edge. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'll show you the back. I'll show you. Here we go. How about this? They got the back. You want to see the bezel? Oh, I forgot to tell you the best part. Wait, the best part. I have bad news also. By the way, there is bad news. There's a great deal on the watch, but there is a bit of bad news or maybe good news. Okay, if you can see that, look at that. Look at that work. That gear shade, look at that. It doesn't, okay, you see that? It's absolutely mint. This is like, I don't want to use the word mint, but it's super crisp. I mean, this watch is like 50 years, literally 50 years old. This is like 75, I believe. So this is going to be a 50-year-old watch. So let me tell you the good news and the bad news. So these are, again, just like the Piaget, a lot of the Piaget have been going up in the last year. A lot of them have doubled. These were going for about $7,000. Now, again, 18,000 at Monaco Legends. There's a guy who has one listed for 22,000. Our good friend, that's right, our good friend in the watch. What's that? The guy? The guy from what's the guy? Yeah, the Dutch guy, the guy who looks like a Van Gogh. Van Gogh. He's got one listed for about 22,000 euros. Euros. That's like 25,000 American. So we're going to be selling this watch. You know how much for? Take a wild guess. Baron Wolf. Guess how much we're going to be auctioning this watch for in a few weeks. Take a wild guess. 11,000 plus premium. Why so cheap? So here's a bit of bad news. The movement on the, again, this is a dual time watch. You got two movements, and that's right. That's right. The Amsterdam watch guy has one of these. This is the model number is. What's my model number? Where is my model number? It's 6. I have it. I printed this out. It's not showing up. Anyway, Piaget dual time. I mean, if you look at that, he's got one listed for 22,000 euros. We got this for 11,000 American dollars. Okay, he's selling it for 25 grand in white gold. You don't want it in white gold. You want it in yellow gold. This was made for the Middle East. They wear yellow. Actually, they don't wear gold technically. Men don't wear gold in theory. I think there's some sort of cultural thing. Anyway, I love that. Okay, so here's the bad news. Ready? You got two movements in here, two Piaget movements, independent movements. You see you got two crowns. Two crowns. The one on the left is not functioning. The balance wheel is broken. So that might cost you, I don't know. You got to find a watchmaker. It's going to cost you $500, maybe $1,000. But let's just say it's going to cost you $700. Just budget $1,000, something like that, just in case. You should be able to get it for less. Again, you got these watchmakers. They're all grifters. But here's the thing: if you get this watch for 11 grand plus premium, you're going to own it for, let's call it 14,000 all in with the repair. So that means you'll basically own it for less than the previous auction price. And yeah, I would say $1,000, because not everybody's going to work on it. I mean, it's like, I think it's the balance wheel from what I understand. And like, normally those are like 500. You gotta find like a guy who's good. And there we go. Or worst case, you might want to send it to Piaget. But then here's the thing: then you're gonna have the paperwork. So that means that you can have a warranty. Of course, you can have a warranty, and if you ever want to resell the watch, it does add value. Again, with these vintage watches, you gotta assume, sir, guys, if you're buying these watches, whether you buy it from Dial Market, you buy it from some other auction, whatever it is, you gotta assume that there's gonna be repairs involved at some point. Okay, you buy from any of these guys online, I guarantee you, there's gonna be, you gotta budget $1,000 for repairs, always, because at some point it's gonna need a cleaning, whatever it's gonna need. So this, for example, this Rolex actually. Baron Wolf. This is right up your alley. We got a red strap. Actually, this is a crappy strap. This is a garbage strap. The watch is pretty nice. Look at this. I think this is the Rolex Precision. Look at that bezel. Look at the. It's got this kind of like a very streamlined. Look at those. Look at those mark. It's coin edge. What they call coin. Look at that. You see the. You get that. It's minty condition. So here's the thing with these vintage watches, guys. Again, you buy it here, wherever you buy, right? The thing with these watches is, it's not like a modern watch. It's not like it's not like one of these Rolex Submariners, which a dime a dozen. Well, not that one, but they're a dime a dozen. With these vintage watches, the odds of you getting another one is remote. Why do I say that? I did a video on this before. It's because the condition is always going to be different. First of all, they didn't make that many of these, right? They made, even with Rolex, I don't know what they made, a couple thousand, whatever they made. Maybe they made 5,000 over a period of 5 years. That's like 70 years ago. This is 1960s, 60 years ago, right? So half the watches have disappeared. Half the watches have disappeared. By the way, we got the Rolex. I think it's legit. You never know with these buckles. You really don't. I think it's pretty legit. I think it's legit. I don't guarantee the buckle though. We don't know. I mean, there's people will say all sorts of things about these buckles, and they're easy to fake. Okay, so yeah. By the way, guys, watch out with these buckles. There's a lot of these grifter watch dealers out there that what they do is they're going to make a gold-plated replica buckle. Like there's guys making gold-plated replicas, which they sell for like, so that's how, they're always trying to squeeze you for a couple $100 extra. So you never know with these buckles. This one looks legit, I believe. But anyway, so here's the thing. So you're never going to find a watch in the same condition. With this condition of this edge, I don't know if you can see. You're never going to find one like this. There's always going to be some other issue, right? Like let's say you find one with this condition. Is there a scratch? I can't tell. I don't know what's going on there. What is, hang on. It's hard to tell what's going on. Is that lighting? I don't know. It's confusing. Anyway, what you see is what you get. Okay, what you see on camera, that's the watch you're gonna get. Okay, so yeah, let me move the other one out of the way. But you're never gonna get these. Oh, the crown. Is that a Rolex crown? Oh, wait, Baron, but there's more. But wait, there's more. The best part, yeah, speaking of the originality, look what you get in the back. You get a little Rolex crown on the back. There's a little, they gave you this engraving. Can you see that? You see that? You see the Rolex crown? Okay. You're not going to find that on like 90% of these watches. So if you ever get a 9919 precision like this, the odds of you having the crown that's still in good condition, here's your serial number. Okay. Okay, it's all legit. Nothing was scratched out. This is not one of these, stolen watches that you get on 47th Street. Okay, guys, this is not one of these hot watches. So again, the odds of you getting a new one like this, another one in this condition for that price, it's going to be remote. You might find one maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe more expensive, but having the crown on the back, having all that stuff, it's going to be remote. So, when you see one of these that you actually like, you just gotta go for it. The back of that watch, the Rolex crown, it's very cool. It looks kind of like a tattoo almost. I'm not a tattoo guy, but it does look like kind of like a tattoo, no? Wait, there we go. Oh, hang on. I'm going to try not to drop this. There we go. There's the crown. That actually is very cool. I mean, that's the king of watches right there. My friends, this is the king of watches. I mean, where else do you get this type of stuff? Unbelievable, but true. You got Rolex, everything. Serial number is there. The serial number has not been rubbed out like you get on some of these watches on eBay that are stolen watches. Hey, you never know, right? Okay, now I'm going to give you one of the best watches here, the best deal. Well, not the best. What a great watch here, Patek Philippe Ellipse. Actually, let me move this one so we don't scratch anything. We don't want to damage any watches. We're going to put this back in the thing here. By the way, I just want to add one thing. So that what do you call it? Hang on a second. I want to take this. I want to call up this address. So LA Watchworks did the service, and brand new. So this tells you everything they did. Movement, blah 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 blah. Serial overhaul. Okay. $700. $700 is what they charge, and that's pretty good. I think they're a little bit expensive, to be honest with you. I think they're a little bit expensive. The LA Watchworks. They do. You know who owns that? That guy. What's his name? Eric Koo or something. Whatever. They're very well regarded. They're very well regarded watch. Like a lot of for vintage watch stuff. Okay. We got a Patek Philippe Ellipse model 3567. 3567. This is the best sunburst dial, blue sunburst, you're ever going to see on a Patek Ellipse. It's actually, honestly, it's much better. It's actually much better in person than it is with this lighting. It's hard to tell with this lighting. But the blue dial is, I mean, it's really, really incredible blue sunburst. Hang on. I don't know if you can pick it up. It's honestly like this, this watch, I can tell you, is much, much more beautiful. The blue sunburst is like, I don't know. I'll take out one of these lights here, but yeah, incredible sunburst. Now, the case is in minty condition. Now, there's good news and bad news. Again, there's good news and bad news. Again, with these vintage watches, good news and bad news, and we got this at a great deal. What is the price going to be? Now, again, these are, by the way, these integrated, what are they calling? They're calling these geezer watches now. They're calling it geezer watches because they have this integrated, there's your integrated bracelet. Look at the buckle you got the Patek buckle. Very good condition. This watch, again, I don't know if you can see it well, but the buckle is very crisp. I don't know if it's in focus. Okay, there we go. The buckle is very crisp. Whenever you buy a Patek, you always want to look at the buckle on these bracelet watches. You want to make sure that the logo is nice and crisp. It hasn't been worn down. So this is minty condition. Now, there's good news and bad news. Again, the watch itself minty condition. Look at this. The case, immaculate. I mean, the case is immaculate. I don't think this watch has ever been polished. You got a couple bumps. I don't know. They always, for some reason, these watches always have some bumps on the back, dents, whatever. Again, it's white gold, baby, 1960s. Ooh, this watch. It's okay. So here's the thing: the problem with these integrated bracelets is a lot of people that cut them down. This one was they lengthened them. That because actually it adjusts. You can adjust it in this thing in the back. There's a way to do this. I'm gonna put it on. Wolf, for you, it's actually, these are hard to put on. These are actually kind of a pain in the ass to put on unless you have practice. So this is from the 60s. Okay, I'll put it on. So this watch I put on the wrist. It fits me. Okay, again, I got a small wrist. I think it's like 6.5 inches, 6 1/4. I don't know, 6 3/8, whatever. 6 1/4. Let's say it's 6 1/4. And this fits me right. I don't think you can wear this if you have a wrist bigger than 6 3/8. I think if you have 6 1/4, you're going to be okay. This is for a small wrist. And by the way, the size of this is like, it's a men's watch, but these were a small size, classic ellipse. Beautiful, incredible. Again, I have an ellipse, and the blue is not as nice as this. The blue on this watch is so amazing. I mean, it really is. I'm not exaggerating. It's an amazing blue. So here's the problem with the watch. It was cut down a little bit, right? A lot of them were. So it's going to fit like a 6 1/4 inch wrist. The watch works. Everything is good. The crown, I believe this is a replacement crown because usually they have a Patek crown. So at some point, this was probably replaced because these are delicate. It probably broke or something. Okay, let me put it on. So again, this is a small watch. Again, full disclosure. It's small. Okay, so I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on right here just so we can. Okay, let me show you how I do this. So you go like this, and there's an extra piece. There's like an extra gold piece to secure it in the thing. See, this is, okay. I don't know if you can see this. There's that little piece. You got to pull that out. See, this is what your grandfather had to do when he put on a Patek watch on an integrated bracelet in the 60s and 70s, or even in the 80s. They had to go through this. But when it's not going to fall off, that's okay. So there we go. Okay. Unless you have, I think you have to practice how to do this. And oh, shit. Okay. This is not, I'm not doing a good sales job here. I'm not doing a good sales job because, yeah. The only thing is when it's on the wrist, it's worth it. You're never going to see anybody else wearing one of these ever in your life. Hang on a second. Oh, shit. It's almost like a two-handed job. It's so difficult to put this on. So right now, okay, so again, these watches right now, everybody's pushing these, what do they call them? They're calling these geezer watches. And look how difficult it is for me to put it on. It's not easy. It takes like a minute. You got to really pay attention to. Okay, here we go. Is it on? Okay, it's on. Oof. I have it on a little bit too tight. Is it on? Actually, no, it's okay. Wow. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to do this. Watch this. Wow. Now look at that. Wait. See, it's crisp. The white gold is like, it's like snake skin almost. I mean, it's like a second skin. It's like a snake skin. Look at that. Wow. And look how thin it is. I mean, the watch is so thin. By the way, look how thin it is on the wrist. That's the idea. So the idea was back then, you wanted to have these kind of thin watches. That was the mark of class. It wasn't like a peasant watch. I mean, it wasn't like, see, This was for peasants. This was for guys. The Rolex Submariner. This was for the guy who went to clean the bottom of your boat. The diver who went down to clean the bottom of your boat once a month. He wore this watch. The owner of the boat wore this watch. Okay, big difference. This is nice and thin. Look how thin it. Elegant, beautiful, unbelievable. It slides under the cuff like a dream. Look at this. Actually, yeah, it's unbelievable. Actually, it's so light. It's almost like you don't feel it's on you. So my wrist size, I think it's 6.25 inches. I think it's 6.25 inches. We're talking about the wrist size. That's the size. We're not talking about any other size. It's funny. Okay, so yeah, and you can adjust it. I think it can get a little bit bigger. Again, you got to open it up and you got to like fool around with it, and it goes in the back like this. Wait, let me see if I can go in the. And you know, if you really need to, you can go to a jeweler or whatever, and they'll make they do that. That's what they used to do back in the day. So and by the way, so this is the way it wears when you open it up a little more. It creates this like a little gap. It creates this kind of like a little gap. You see the little gap? So that's when you open them up. So now the watch is, yeah. Yeah, I would say I think 6.25 inches. I think it's comfortable. Like I like to wear my watches a little bit loose. Okay. And again, the weather is going to change. You know, again, my wrist expands. So it's 6. I would say, again, I don't know how to measure this stuff, but you know, to be on the safe side, 6.25 inches. Yeah, they could make it a little bigger. It's going to cost you money. You're going to have to basically like fool around with what do they do? There's guys who do this stuff. It's kind of like a dying art because all the watchmakers had to do this back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s because everybody was always, you know, adjusting them. Honestly, you know what? If you got a 6.25 inch wrist, I think you'll be okay. If you're like a 6.5 inch wrist, I don't know. You might be taking a risk. And really, this is it's kind of a collector watch. It's not made to be worn. There we go. Oh, Wolf, thank you for joining. No, yeah, these watches are not made to be worn. They're made to be looked at. No, okay, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, it's funny actually. There's a lot of guys who actually don't wear the watch; they collect them. It's probably going to sell in Asia. This is like good for the Japanese market. They love white gold. This is a very Japanese type of thing. So again, they're going to have smaller wrists. This is not for like Americans, big fat Americans. They're eating like giant orders of like bacon and I don't know, 6.75. Not going to work. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. But I'll tell you what, for 6.75, yeah, 6.75. First of all, I think the watch is going to look a little small on you. It's going to look a little small, and it's going to be a little tight. Maybe, I don't know. So basically, this is. By the way, this is just to be clear. This is a men's watch. I don't think it would look good on a woman. I mean, if I saw like a girl wearing this, I'd be like, it's not right. It's a men's watch. Definitely, it's a men's watch. Colors are masculine colors. It's not for women. Just for somebody with a normal size wrist. Not for Americans. So Antonio Leo, the watch you want is this one. You can wear up to about 7 inches. We got 2 extra links. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Dual Time Yellow Gold. Unbelievable condition. Look at the back of the buckle. Nobody does yellow gold like Audemars Piguet. I really, I hate the company, but they do beautiful yellow gold. They have the best tone of yellow and also rose gold. Their rose gold and their yellow gold is great. Look at that. Okay, so okay, speaking of dress watches, so we got those. And if you really want, I don't know, Antonio, when you joined in, but we got more Pateks. If you want a Patek, again, vintage Patek, 60s, excuse me, this is 70s. So that's the beauty of getting a watch on a strap. You can get whatever size you want. And this one actually fits. This is actually, again, yeah, you put this on whatever 10-inch wrist, whatever you want, no problem. You want a new strap anyway. This is, again, manual wind. We do have the buckle, the Patek buckle. That's the original buckle, yellow gold. This strap is, somebody added that aftermarket strap. Yeah, it's a garbage strap. You want to get a new one. Onyx dial, black onyx dial. There's a little bit of dust on the dial. As you can see, those are the dots. That's from dust. Dust gets into these. These things are like 50 years old. The watch works. Everything's functional. There's a slight hairline crack on the stone. It's very difficult to see. It's on the 1 o'clock. It's somewhere up there. Impossible to see it unless you got to like look up close with like a magnifying glass. But there's a very, very faint hairline crack. So just for full disclosure, and to wrap up, another great Patek, ellipse era. So we got two ellipses. We got this beautiful, beautiful ellipse 3582, which inspired the iPhone. Wow. I mean, this is like incredible. Look at the edge. I'm going to put this on. And by the way, we do have the this again. This strap is some sort of, somebody added this strap. I don't know people why they get these cheap straps. Somebody put on this cheap strap. In a second, I'm going to put on the watch the proper way, just so you see what the watch actually is supposed to look like. Okay, I'm wearing it loose on the wrist. I'm wearing it loose. There we go. Okay, so I have it very loose on the wrist, by the way, super loose, so it's not on properly. Hang on. Yeah, this is, yeah. Let me see if I get, okay. It's too loose on the, it's too loose. Hang on, I'm gonna push this back. Okay. It's too loose. Okay, it's loose on the wrist. By the way, this is how the strap goes in, right? Again, keep in mind, it's very, very loose on the wrist. And there is your Patek buckle. And very important that you, whenever you get one of these watches, whenever you get a Patek ellipse, you got to have the buckle. It's not an ellipse without that buckle. And again, that's like 600, it's about 800 bucks these days. You got to order from Patek. And the watch, wow, it's, it's weird. I never had this on my wrist. Hang on a second. I never had this watch on my wrist, so I don't even know how to wear this watch. I never had this watch on the wrist. Okay, let me see how it fits actually with this buckle, with this strap. So the strap is this old terrible strap. God. Okay. Let me see this. Okay, I just want to see how it fits on the wrist. Okay, so wow, that's interesting. Okay, so it kind of sits high. Really interesting. Okay, the watch sits a little bit high. You got to get the right strap. I would say you want to get a custom strap so it fits you perfectly. And the watch actually sits a little bit high. Look at this. It pops off the wrist. I mean, look at this. This is the cubitus. I mean, if you want to get a cubitus, I mean, this is the real deal. I mean, the cubitus is like a, some sort of monstrosity. This is the real cubitus right here. And you know what, actually? I believe these are going to increase in price. By the way, these are going for about 12 grand on the secondary market. We're going to be selling this for a 6,000 plus commission, premium, I should say. And this, again, the cubitus shape, right? And it's got a very modern feel because it sits high on the wrist. I don't know if it's the strap that's doing it or it's the watch. I think it's the watch. Yeah, it's going to sit high. It's kind of, it is a little bit weird, to be honest with you. It really pops. So it's like I mean, you feel it sitting there. So what I would recommend is it is a dress watch. You definitely want to wear it under a cuff, because if it gets caught on something, you know, you don't want to damage the watch. These are delicate. But it's very cool the way it like pops off the wrist. It's like, again, I don't know how to explain it, but it really basically sits on the wrist. If that makes any sense. Okay. It looks bigger. Yeah, it really wears bigger than it is. Kind of very interesting. Again, you gotta replace the strap, and you gotta clean up the dial. It's got some dust on there. It's got a little bit of, I don't know, oxidation, or what is it? You see a lot of these older dials, these ellipse dials, they got some flaking right along the edges. That's something that is pretty common with about 90% of them from the 70s. Again, this is mid 70s, so that is what happens. Even in the 80s, but yeah. So I have one that has some flaking, uh, and this one also does. But yeah. By the way, what do they call that? What do they call it? What do they call that? Tropicalization. Tropicalization. Can't load which web page? Oh, dial market. Interesting. We're getting it. Actually, we're doing some. Let me see. I'm getting something done with it. Hang on a second. Let's see. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, somebody was working on it. Hang on a second. Somebody was doing something. I think somebody was doing. Let's see if it works. It's not working. Yeah, you're right. It's blank right now. So yeah, somebody is working on this site right now. Like literally as we speak. I'm looking at the emails here. Uh, where is my thing here? Sam, thank you for mentioning that. So hopefully people, by the time they watch it, the video, it'll be working. Yeah. So basically, the deal is this. So we're gonna have the auction set up on. We're gonna announce that next week, the date of the auction platform, and all that. And the right by the what I would recommend you do is also, if you want to get notified, make sure you click the link in the video description below. Click the link in the video description below. You're going to get our free newsletter, and that's going to give you notifications about the auction. So again, check back, and it's going to be up there. And by next week, Dial Market is going to link directly to the auction site. So that's the deal. And there is the Patek Ellipse. Wow, very cool on the wrist. No, honestly, you're never going to see anybody wearing one of these watches. I've never seen one. I've seen a lot of watches. I've never seen anybody wearing one of these. These are actually, again, I hate when these people say, "Oh, it's rare, it's super rare, it's uber rare, it's ultra rare." This actually is ultra rare. They made very few of these. They stopped them, and again, the Ellipse was out of fashion very long, but this is a watch from the 70s. That's like a space age design. The glass, the glass, it's very Apple. It's like a very Apple, like the way that the glass is on your iPhone, the way the glass is on your iPhone, or on your Samsung. I'm looking at my phone here on my Samsung Galaxy. The way the glass sits right on it, flush, it's the same exact feel. Look at that. It's just like a mobile phone. The glass is flush on the case, which is really. I mean, this was way ahead of its time. Look how the indexes reflect the light. Wow. So, and there's the back of it. I just took it off. Okay. All right. So that wraps it up, my friends. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we will see you in the next video. Again, to get notification about our upcoming auction for these prices, make sure that you click the link in the video description below to get the free newsletter. That's our watch market newsletter, and that's also going to give you notifications about the auction. All right, thank you, everybody, for joining, and let's see, that's it. We're out of here, right? All right. See you in the next one. Oh, here we go.